mention the war. I mentioned it once, but I think I got away with it all right.
Listen very carefully. I shall say this only once.
Boys, up with the law.
That's it. Take a bite right now. Perfect timing. Is this podcast listeners like is Pete the sound of someone eating and close up into a microphone?
At least I think I must sound.
Listen to it masticating. Listen to it.
I've got bits of bagel in my mouth.
That's translation
The
for
bagel.
Yeah, bagel.
Well, it's bagel. Anyway,
Okay. Fish, salmon.
yes, salmon's a fish.
Why didn't
Hope
you
not.
finish? Why didn't you finish eating your fucking bagel?
One, bagel. Two, I thought
Doesn't
we
matter
did.
way how you say it. Either way, once you've eaten it, it's bagel.
Is it bagel?
It's bagel, yeah.
Bagel.
Yeah. So there's two different things, and I'll talk you through them, Chris. So you got bagel, which is the Jewish original,
Yeah.
and you got bagel, which is like the American equivalent.
Right.
And
Is
this,
that traditional Jewish?
Are they
Bible?
just the same
Yeah.
thing but said differently?
no,
They're different.
yeah.
How are they
What's the
different?
difference?
So I don't know for sure, but maybe it's like the way in which they're cooked. But if you look at yeah, this is solid hard maybe evidence.
It's like consecrated dough.
Well, one of them's boiled, and I don't think bagels are. I think bagels are. I mean, bagels are boiled.
There's too many bees.
Oh, I've got to do the intro in a minute.
New tongue twister. It's like a warm up, isn't it? Bagels are boiled. Bagels are baked.
Bagels are boiled, but bagels are barely baked.
Ben boils bagels.
That's his vocal warm up for the show. Bagel.
Hello, and welcome to the Great British Shitcom, the show in which we watch some potentially forgotten sitcom classics and see if they stood the test of time. I'm Mark, and these guys are both called Chris, Wood, and Jones.
Hello.
Yep. Hello.
Always a yep.
Yep.
Today, in honour of Chaz Hodges from Chaz and Dave.
Who's drinking?
Still got Vigor in my mouth, I'm sorry.
It's not the only thing, you know what I'm saying? Penis.
I mean, it is the only thing in my mouth. Bagel. So, in honour of Chaz Hodges, who recently passed away, unfortunately, we're going to be watching Til Death Do Us, as they did the theme tune to it, as Sickness and Health. This episode from Series 4, Episode 3, entitled Bournemouth by Train, I believe.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Just looking at a scrawled on notepad.
Oh.
yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, why not? That's a good episode. That's a good title.
I think it's
Holiday in Bournemouth.
Holiday in Bournemouth, thank you.
27th of September 1972. Guest of Spike Milligan,
Spike Milligan's in this one.
Norman Bird, and Rita Webb.
Nice, well, we've got that to look forward to.
Mm.
How do you guys feel about Spike Milligan? Fan of his at all?
Not really.
Don't really think. I don't know.
No, I just he's someone that I wanted to like, but I don't really understand. I feel like it was like comedy of the era that I don't.
Was it in the
What
Goon
has-
Show?
what has
wasn't
he
he?
done?
Goon Show, went it on the radio?
Is it? I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe.
he wrote like lots of I think poems as well.
Oh, okay.
Just
I don't know. It's not a name that jumps. Like I've heard of it, but I
Okay.
couldn't like.
it.
No, I've heard of the name, but I couldn't tell you anything.
Isn't he the one who had I told you I was ill on his
Yeah, I
gravestone?
was about to say the same thing. Yeah, nice
Oh,
little
okay.
fact.
All right, yeah, I've heard that before.
So this episode in particular, again, Series 4, Episode 3, the Garnetts go to Bournemouth by train, where Alf gets into an argument with an Indian passenger. Oh no, I didn't read this beforehand.
For fuck's sake.
Oh god. And is aghast to be told that the man is travelling first class. What have I done? On arrival, there is more from him to moan about. Sunburn, the taxi driver, though the hotel proprietress and the henpecked husband can teach him a thing or two about rabbiting on. Finally, a kid plays a trick on him so that he and his deck chair fall into the swimming pool. I feel like that's ruined a joke. Any of that stand out for you guys?
I'm
I'm
really
so
expecting that deck chair going in the swimming pool now.
Yeah.
Ruined, isn't it?
I'm glad we don't have to go on holiday in the UK anymore.
What?
Just shit, innit?
No.
I mean, that was my entire childhood, unfortunately.
So was mine, but it was rubbish. I didn't
What,
enjoy it.
Hastings. I still go to Hastings. I used to go loads of times as a kid. I still like going down Hastings. Every now and then.
Went to Margate a few weeks ago. It was miserable.
Was it?
Yeah, Margate's a
Oh.
bit miserable. I'll give you that.
I was thinking about going to Margate at some point.
Don't.
Okay, fine.
No, holiday in the UK is good.
I mean, like, what I mean is like to the traditional like seaside towns.
Oh right, okay. Well, yeah, if it's a bit run down, like Hastings Old Town's really nice. The New Town bit's not very good. But if you like a Fisherman Museum, got a big boat in there. Hastings Castle, Smuggler's Caves.
Oh shit!
Oh,
now we're
come
talking.
on.
It's got a funicular railway thing, isn't it?
Oh.
Yeah, it's got like a little railway
Fucking
going down.
yes,
It's
now we're
got
talking.
it's got a little train things that go up and down the cliffs.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got those. They're good.
What's the word?
Scary.
What's the word?
Don't know, vernacular.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, I think that's closer. Close to Pevensey Bay, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah, where the Normans landed for the Battle of Hastings, 1066.
Yeah, went there last year. Went to Pevensey Castle.
Yep, that's
It was
where.
really good.
Because it was the site of an earlier Roman fortification, but William the Conqueror, William the First of Normandy, improved upon it. He set up a Motte and Bailey, a wooden Motte and Bailey there, which were great because the Normans could really quickly set them up, use them, and then take them down again, so that they could transport them. Because if you leave like a fortification there, the enemy can sort of use them to. Anyway, yeah. So that was his sort of his base of operations before the Battle of Hastings.
And you can go to Battle Abbey, walk the battlefield. So
Which
it's
is
good.
the
I enjoyed that.
site of the Battle of Hastings.
Yeah, no, that's really good.
Senlac Hill. That's when the
That's
Anglo-Saxons set up their defensive shield wall.
Mm-hmm. And then you can see a spot where
Howard fell.
Howard actually fell.
Was hacked to death by the Normans.
Yeah. That's why I discovered I like little liking for mead.
It's nice, isn't it?
Selling
Leeds,
traditional mead.
Yeah.
Like that. Got a bottle of it.
But R.I.P. Harold II of England, and
Tried his best.
it did.
Tried
To
his
be
best.
fair to him, he had in the week previously gone up north at the Battle of Stamford Bridge,
Yes.
fighting his brother Tostig and Howard Hardrada. Yeah,
He had a bit of a false march back down to.
he had a full march down, so
Sussex.
he's battle weary.
Just fell for the Normans' tactics.
Yeah.
Feigned flight.
Yeah.
Gets shield every time
Yeah.
in the bag.
But fair play to William. Came over here, won. Fair play to him.
Yeah.
So no hard feelings.
No.
No. Changed
Did alright though.
changed a lot about the way the UK
Bad
was
for,
governed.
Viking descent Normans.
Yeah.
Viking settlement. And then they've smashed it, haven't they?
And of course, he changed the language of English judiciary and the English royal court to French up until it changed back to English in the reign of Edward III, Edward Plantagenet.
Yep.
So really, they changed a lot. Doomsday Book, eh?
Yep.
That was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Mark, thoughts?
Zero.
I mean, we have given you time to eat their bagel, so
Yeah, I'm in bagel, but yeah, I'm really pleased for it. So yeah,
What a bagel.
I'm pleased for the bagel, yes, but also the history that I'm clearly not learning. I don't know what's going on right now.
So do you go in the shop and ask for a bagel?
Yeah.
And do they ever go like,
Well, if I go
"What the fuck are you
into
on about?"
well, just facetiously, even though it's obviously not like a proper traditional Jewish establishment, you'll go in there and facetiously, like a prick, say,
do they say oh here's your bagel, and you go, I'm sorry, I ordered a bagel. Oh, don't you mean bagel? Because if that's a bagel, I don't want it anymore. Can I have my money back, please?
ordinarily, I would go into a Jewish bakery and order a bagel, and they would not question me because that is what they're called there. I would not choose to buy like a 4-pack or a 6-pack, if you will, from Sainsbury's or a Tesco, where they're all stacked up on top of each other, because they are ordinarily
Kind of like
bagels.
Like a hoopla.
Like a hoopla. The New York ones, they're not good.
no,
Aren't they?
not. To be
What
fair to
about
them.
cinnamon and raisin ones? They're quite nice.
No, I never have a sweet bagel.
You are
No.
out of your mind.
What do you have in that? In a sweet bagel like that?
I'd just eat it.
Turkey, as we learned last week.
That's true.
I'd just eat it dry in the morning, or maybe a bit of butter.
Okay.
Do you just like dry foods? Again,
No,
turkey.
it's not like I dry food. Turkey. That's if you cooked it
Do
wrong.
you want to drink with that? No.
Obviously not.
Just some gravy.
Do
No
you
gravy.
Do you have any mead? Just eating handfuls of millet in his car.
No, turkey's only dry when it's cooked raw. It's like, what have you got? Rice Krispies. Here you go. Milk? No, thanks.
Sandpaper for a napkin.
It's just pouring that birdseed, that trill, into his hand in his car.
True.
Delicious. Delicious for budgies and humans alike.
Salty.
Go on then. Let's get on with this then.
So, I did the again synopsis. What is it?
Synopsis, I usually say.
Right, we'll go
Depends
with
if it's been boiled or not.
There we go.
All right.
Anyway.
Well, yeah, we're doing
I'm
that. Sorry, no problem. Yeah, let's see how long before I get enraged at casual racism in this. So here we go. Holiday in Bournemouth. What was it?
So what's the premises of the show?
Oh yeah, we'll do that. All right. I said that, didn't I?
Did we?
For the individual episode, but he wants to know the setup of the board.
So what's it? It's Death Do Us.
premise
I'm
of
going to assume it's just like a married couple and they're just getting into like situations.
This
and
is
that,
long-suffering
basically.
wife, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Comedic situation.
Yeah, I think like he's always moaning. She's having a put up with him.
It's like grumpy man, wife, putting up with it, and they're just doing stuff.
Hilarity.
It's like one foot in the grave, but
In the 70s.
yeah. And
Added racism.
yeah, more of that. Stay tuned. All right, well, let's go for that.
Mark's already got to send me thinking about racism, so here we go.
Well, this is one of the few series we're not actually watching on YouTube. Mark's got a box set.
Yeah, that's it. I saw it on the shelf next to Triumph of the Wheel. That was
I don't know what that is, unfortunately.
good. Look it up.
Yep. All right then. Yeah, here we go. Watching whatever we're watching.
Even Mark's give a fucking fuck.
When we got married, I took the marriage vow. In sickness and in health, I said I'll do. For richer, for poorer, till death us do part. And you said that you'll honour and obey me too. But it wasn't very long before I soon found out the one who wore the trousers was you. Now after all these years, at last I'm pushing you about. But in sickness and in health, I love you. In sickness and in health, I said I'll do.
So we just intended to watch Till Death Do Us Part because
I mean, with hindsight, it would have been. It is odd that the name of the song was In Sickness and in Health, and the show we thought it was the theme song was Till Death Do Us Part.
I think like if
That's quite weird.
if I knew of the sitcoms and In Sickness and in Health, then I would have gone, oh, hang on a minute, that doesn't seem right. But you can get some sitcoms that have got different titles.
Like what?
I don't know.
Yeah. What basically happened? We got the sitcom and the song title mixed up, didn't we?
Well, you say we. That'd be anyone but me and you.
That's my fault. Yeah, sorry.
So yeah, not saying it into the microphone. That's okay. So yeah, Jones unfortunately mixed up Till Death Do Us Part with Sickness and Health, both of which star the exact same actors, and this was kind of like a sequel, as far as we understand it. In which it's Alf Garnett again with his wife Elsie.
Yep. Just older, and obviously she's now in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Obviously. And they're just old, aren't they? It's another old people sitcom.
Yeah.
Are old people so funny? Are they funny? I don't know.
Well, I don't know.
No.
We know your stance on it.
I think, is it just the thing of that, with like that old sort of like, oh, once you're old and you've done your time and that, not like prison time or anything, but like you've done your, you haven't got a filter anymore. You just don't care if it's like the rules of society. If you're old, you can kind of like, you can say what you like, do what you like, because you're old, and that's kind of like, is that what it is? I think if they've got an old character, they can kind of just, don't know.
It's the root of this comedy, isn't it? Really, of this sort of comedy.
Yeah,
because they're old.
They're done, and they can just do it like really.
So it's kind of him bulldozing around, leaving a trail of destruction. This is like the comedy is derived from his cluelessness and like the way that people react to him.
Yeah, like he's just like, he don't care, does he?
Is there a synopsis for this episode? Do you want to read it out?
There is, yeah.
What's the name of the episode? Do you know?
There wasn't one. It was just simply episode 1, series 1, episode 4. that we
Because we
chose.
thought it would be funny to do that because.
It's a callback from last week's. Yeah,
We were wrong.
yeah, we were incredibly wrong.
Yeah, I'd just like to clarify now. I mean, Mark was it was my fault. I didn't look into it any more than should have known.
Superficial research. You did really well.
I did, yeah. I just, yeah.
Just shows all the hard work I put in series 1 trying to get all
Yeah.
laughing at that. Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. It's hard. It's harder than it looks, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, even on Wikipedia, it's just episode 4.
Okay, well that's reassuring.
1985.
Before our time.
Yeah.
As is this sort of humour. Anyway, the synopsis for this one. Alf tries the patience of good-natured Fred Johnson and his wife from next door by using their phone to make a very long-winded, long-distance call to Rita.
Yeah.
After expounding Expounding, is that a word?
After expanding.
What is expounding?
Oh, I told you not to eat that gum.
Willy Wonka. He just really loved the phone call.
Yeah.
After expounding upon funerals in the pub, Alf repays Fred by buying him so many drinks he falls over. I mean, that wasn't a big
That wasn't
feature,
even
innit?
established, was it?
Fuck off. So many drinks. He falls over. Alf's homeward progress, pushing Elsie in his wheelchair, also ends in drunken calamity. They've just...
What happened at the end? Did you
Drunken
fall over?
calamity.
What did he fall over?
Yeah,
They
just...
pushed him in the bin. Oh, what, the neighbour?
No, he fell off the chair.
He
Didn't
had the slow fall down of bringing the table down with him.
Yeah.
What happened to Alf at the end? He fell over in a bin. That's right.
Yeah, he pushed her into the bins, didn't they? Not to the bins.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Shouting abuse at the neighbours for telling him to shut up.
That's a big finish.
It was crescendo.
So, the things I've written down for this episode
Go on.
in order: wig, phone daughter at neighbour, fruit and chocolate, Alf and Elsie, pub rant. I've never had any trouble with parking tickets with traffic wardens. Why? I haven't got a car. Old people in a pub. Younger man, pervy glasses with comb over. Why? Who is this guy? Irish guy. The Greyhounds haven't. Any of that? You guys want to go over with me? Because all that's
it did seem
deranged
that,
notes.
It's just odd, wasn't it?
It did seem that most of the scenes were built around an extended monologue from Alf Garnett, the main character.
Yeah, but it was nothing anyone could like chip in with, or
No.
There's nothing that's actually anything interesting or anything you could like think he's making any sort of point. Like, what was he actually saying? Like,
It wasn't like a particularly funny monologue.
no,
either.
no, it wasn't.
But it was like, I guess it was, some of the comedy was derived from the other characters saying like sly asides to each other as he sort of rambled on.
So what was it? The first bit was rambling on about the fact that his wife right there next to him. I thought, well, that's a bit harsh, isn't it? Like we were saying, oh, wish she died the same time as her sister, and I got some money off her and stuff like that. And
well,
I'm
I just paid no
pouring
mind to that.
more money into her than I'm ever going to get back.
She's long suffering.
Mm.
She knows what he's like.
She signed up for it till
Their
his sickness in health.
Oh, his sickness in health, yeah.
Yeah.
Either or.
I think the reason that he wrote down that thing about the parking tickets was because it stuck out as
It was like a written joke.
a written joke. Yeah.
Yeah, as
Whereas the rest of it
yeah.
was all kind of. I mean, I did quite. The only kind of thing I found funny, and it was the part where Alf Garnett went next door to his neighbour because they don't have a phone, to use his phone to make a long-winded call to Liverpool to speak to his daughter Rita, who lives in Liverpool, and the extent to which he kind of just his obliviousness in that he just took over the whole living room and ate all their food, and then asking to turn the TV. I was laughing when he was on the phone and he's asking to turn the TV down. I thought it was quite funny because it was just escalating. And then he ended up, he pushed his wife in a wheelchair, and then he sort of sprawled in the guy's chair and was eating everything, and he offered his wife some food of their food.
Yeah,
I thought that was funny. I thought that was funny how he did that. But the rest of it, I thought I think he's quite a well realised character, and I think that's quite well done.
When that he feels like a.
It feels like you've been around people like that,
Oh yeah, no, I can. Yeah.
So I mean, he's not massively cartoonish, wacky sitcom character. He seems like a person that you might have met in your life in a pub, a boring person, loudly talking in a pub.
Or family reunion, one of the two.
Yeah. Or somebody to do a podcast with, or and that as much as I didn't find it very funny. He did seem like a well-realised character. Definitely acted, I think, because I think Warren Mitchell, the guy who plays him, was like a properly classically trained actor.
Yeah, I mean, I got everything wrong about Warren Mitchell beforehand.
We've got everything that we could have got wrong. We got wrong about this episode. So
yeah, it's been unsurprisingly a shit show.
So the way he delivered some of the monologues, like you could tell, there's a lot of like the intent of the way he did things, and you could tell it wasn't like he's a good actor, and he did the best he could with the material, I suppose.
Would this have been any better had it been written, like say modern day, like with that sort of character, that sort of setup? Like if you actually had a decent writer, like not to put this down at all, do you think that sort of the yawn again?
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, it's just always funny.
It's warm.
Yeah, do you think this could have worked at all if like the humour was there? I don't know.
I think if we're looking for like a modern day equivalent to it, you're looking at something like the pub landlord guy. What's his name?
Yeah, Al Murray.
Al Murray, pub landlord. I think that's a a similar character in that Al Murray is also like, is that his? What's the guy's? Is that his real name and the character's name?
I think the character's just called the pub landlord.
He is also like a middle class kind of comedian, like quite an intellectual comedian who is really associated with the character. Who the intention of the comedy is like to satirise that particular political worldview. But he was both that Warren Mitchell and Al Murray, the pub landlord. They've both kind of been sort of not tainted by it, but like people trying to take that comedy at face value and agree with it, like, and think it's funny because it kind of it echoes with what they believe as well. And they've like, I think Warren Mitchell. I've got everything else wrong, so this might be wrong as well. I mean, like, I think he struggled with trying to disassociate himself with Alf Garnett because he wasn't a racist and he didn't support West Ham.
Yeah,
he was a Jewish guy, Warren Mitchell. So.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got everything wrong about that then. That's a shame.
So yeah, that's the kind of parallel I draw. It was between Alf Garnett and Al Murray, the pub landlord. Both begin with A. Okay.
Both in pubs.
Both in pubs.
Bald.
Both bald. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I think that's a very good point, very well made.
Thanks very much. There you go.
You're welcome.
Now I'm going to say things about willies and that.
The bit in which they're in the pub and it's just a bunch of old people talking, just want to touch on that because that reminded me of Mrs. Brown's Boys. There's a bit where they always sort of cut to them in the pub and it was literally that same sort of setup and them just chatting.
But even then, as much as I didn't think it was funny, I did quite enjoy it, the way it seemed almost naturalistic in that it was like a conversation that some old people would have in a pub, like, and that they would talk, and then somebody would kind of interrupt and continue talking. And it wasn't like very sitcom-y, like there wasn't like loads of zingers and people saying funny lines and stuff. It was like quite a natural flow of a conversation.
Old people chatting in the pub. Is that entertaining? I don't know.
It was that, but like amped up. So like really, it was just old people chatting in a pub, but like non-stop.
You're just chatting a load of shit.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? Like, what was going on in that? What were they talking about? He was talking about his wife being still alive. He wasn't getting any money off her.
Yeah.
Talking about
but you can see where
some non-sequential sort of bollocks about going up to heaven and him getting his false leg, and went on way too long about all your stuff. What was his accent as well? Was it an Irish accent?
Heavy Irish accent.
Addiction, yeah. He'll have his leg up there and it'll have his name on it, and he'll have all his particulars, his name, his date of birth, where he was born, his house, his street. And I was thinking, what is he talking about?
That was. I thought it was. I didn't think it was funny. I wasn't like laughing, but then I thought.
Well, yeah, but it's a comedy show. It's meant to be comedy. It's not a.
Oh, is it?
A philosophical debate.
No, but
it's a documentary.
It seemed to me like something you might see in a play or something. That part.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Sure.
Yeah, play that you don't want to go watch, and you think, "Fucking hell, am I doing here? Can I get out at intermission?" Like, it's all right saying it's all pub stuff, but it's meant to be comedy. Did anyone laugh at that bit? No one was laughing.
I liked its intent. Right? I liked the intent, and I liked the way it was acted, and I felt it was.
Yeah, it wasn't badly
executed.
It was just boring.
I like the intent. I like the intent's the equivalent of well done for taking part.
I like the idea, but it wasn't very funny.
I like pubs, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
I like the pub. It's a realistic pub. I looked it up to see if it was a real pub, but it looked like quite a nice place. No, I don't know. It was weird, wasn't it? And then
it didn't. I didn't really enjoy the whole. Like, was it like 12 people that all in the conversation, most of which weren't needed.
It seemed like it was like a play. It was like a play. There was bits.
Yeah.
Nothing linked to anything else. Like there was literally what was the part where it was that they were having that conversation and it literally faded out.
Yeah, I thought that was gonna be it, and it came back.
It faded out and Alf Garnett turned to his wife and going, "Hey, did you hear that?" And then it faded. That was it.
And then it was over with his neighbour trying to like. He said that apparently he bought his neighbour so many drinks he fell over, and that wasn't clear. I thought he was just in there pissed. And then he's trying to get him to set up some sort of telephone business in his living room.
Yeah, which they could have made something of that, I thought.
Yeah, that was all right. I mean, but then the neighbour, That was the one bit as well I enjoyed. The neighbour's rage at the guy using his
Oh,
phone.
yeah, that was good.
Oh
Like, he
yeah,
was
let's go back
so
to that.
angry that every joint in his body locked up and he couldn't bend his back.
It was
and
like
he-
pounding the bottom of the
Yeah.
base of his spine with his fist.
yeah. And he was like he tried to headbutt the wall, missed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then he was just like, I don't know. Like,
He was locked at a 20-degree incline. I
yeah,
just couldn't
he couldn't
understand.
move. Could he? He was like, I was hunched over. He was bent. That's it. He's so angry.
Yeah, that was just crazy. The bit in the bar again though, with like I said, there's about 12 people in there, and the majority of them were all old. There was a sort of a group of women sort of sitting together that, as a group, I could understand.
Mm.
I was going to say Al Murray then, that's weird. Alf Garnett with his wife, I can understand obviously because they're a couple. Then there was like 3 other guys. The guy with the false leg,
Mm-hmm.
I can understand him being in a bar on his own.
Well, he's there with his wife.
Oh yeah, it might be one of the
The woman in front of him was
Yes,
his wife. But
yeah,
she was the
you're
one who
right,
said,
one of the
"Oh,
women.
I wish
Yeah.
his leg was wood.
Chuck
and
it on
I'd
the
chucked it on the
fire."
fire."
Yeah,
I
you're
would.
right.
I
Yeah.
would.
He was
Alright.
getting legless.
And then yes, it certainly was. Then there was the 2 other guys, one of which I thought maybe they're related, but then one of them had a heavy Irish accent,
Mm.
and I really couldn't understand who he was in this setup.
It's an Irishman. Of course, he's in the pub.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, so
We had to go
That's
about the.
He did have a go
Irish,
about the
didn't he, on the
Irish,
phone,
didn't he?
didn't he?
Yeah.
He was saying something about Liverpool, like they're all
Oh, 'cause
thick
the
up there because they've got
thick
Irish
Irish
blood. Or
blood,
something.
Yeah, it was terrible. Just really, really thick rim glasses, pervy comb over.
I thought it was sexy.
Well, you would. Yeah, I didn't understand that character.
I mean,
what he
yeah, I
was
can
doing
see.
there.
I can see what you're saying about it. It did seem like it would be like a lot of old people like that would be quite natural as how they might be in a pub and chatting,
Mm.
but it wasn't funny.
No, there was
And if-
very little
if-
that was funny
if
in this.
your comedy program's not funny, then
Doing something wrong.
You're shaky
Mm.
ground already, yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I think the
note to self.
the biggest comedic element in this whole thing, of the list I've got written down, was a bald man putting on a wig, and that wig was it his daughter's wig or someone's wig or something?
Yeah, it's
Did you
Rita's
say
wig.
Rita?
Yeah, it's Rita's
Rita's
wig.
Why is their
wig.
daughter up in Liverpool got their wig down in? Why she got a wig?
That's what I'm saying.
Dunno.
Why she got a wig? Yeah, gone down to Liverpool for that place well known for its cancer treatment. It's not right, is it?
Could have alopecia. That's slightly less bleak.
No, I'm going for full bleak. That's where the sickness comes in for this title.
Why did she want to talk to her? I can't remember why she did they just want to chat?
I think it's just they
Yeah,
hadn't
it's
heard
supposed
from
to
I hadn't heard from her in a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was just like I'll go around to the neighbours to phone our daughter to see how she's
This is
doing.
what, 85? Did you have house phones around in 85? I don't know.
I mean, I weren't around in '85.
Suppose they're
I
old
wasn't
people,
around in
innit?
85.
They're old.
Yeah, the fact they wouldn't have it.
Yeah, I guess so. But then her daughter didn't either, and she was quite younger than the old people, I guess.
Mm,
Don't know. Anyway,
yeah. Why was she in Liverpool? Just moved there, or
I don't know.
I think.
tell me, Chris?
You're the fan.
It's my boxer. Yeah.
I think her husband's from Liverpool. I think
Oh, okay.
Rita's husband.
Okay. There's not really a lot more to say about this one.
No, it's pretty much. It was quite clear in the 3. There was 4 main sections, weren't there? There was them in the house with him in the wig.
Yep.
Then there was a neighbour's house and the phone call situation.
Mhm.
They're in the pub having the rant, and then it was the walking home drunk after the night out, wasn't it?
Yeah, which again kind of ended really weird. He just basically threw his wife into the bins.
It's just it's kind of again that sort of like his character when it's like he's like everyone's telling him to be quiet and he's like, oh come on, I'm just
Yeah, having
doing
a bit
what I'm
of,
doing,
having a bit
and
of fun kind
so
of
he's
thing,
not
yeah.
really bothered about anyone else, is it? It's sort of his him, innit?
Yeah.
Wasn't as racist as we were expecting, but I think he's like mid-80s by now, so
Yeah, I imagine like the decade gap in between when they wanted to come back, they were like, one proviso, you can do this again, but you have to take out all of the racism.
What about Irish
fucking
jokes? Oh, okay then. Go on.
Yeah, status we can do that.
Yeah. I don't know. No, I'm just thinking like around the 80s then to get a sequel on it on something that if in the 70s one the sort of like Till Death Us Do Part was like proper like a would be considered like a racist humour, that it got a sequel made, like you wouldn't really get that now, would you? They wouldn't do like a sequel of that now, I suppose. Even if they took out everything. Just based on like association.
Yeah, I think it'd be very hard to like for any sort of program to have that big a gap and then to change what is probably a well-known part.
I mean, you probably wouldn't get the same characters back now anyway. So
Yeah. I mean, not same as this, but like I mean, any sort of sitcom at all.
anything.
So
that
like
would
if
have
you-
had that
if you
sort of
had a-
past to have a revival of it. I don't know.
Yeah, to bring anything back after a 10-year gap and then to change like a well-known.
Because
like,
it finished
factors
in
of it.
75 then. In Sickness and Health was 1985 and 1992. Sequel Till Death Do Us Part, which was 1966 to 1975. So yeah, decade. And then there was Till Death, which ran in 1981. What?
So was that a one-off or something?
1981.
It was a film, wasn't there? Wasn't there a feature film?
Well, what happens? What's the premise to that?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, so I must have done Death Do Us Part. Then there was this one series of 6 episodes in 81 of Till Death. Then in 85 they must have done Till Death Do Us Part.
Well, that's what they're testing to see if they could still get away with the racism at that point.
And that was, there was what, 2 series, 3 series, and a couple of specials. Series 4 series of this, 5 series of this, 6 series of this.
Oh wow! Just
What's
keep
the-
exclaiming and scrolling at the same time.
Yeah, I couldn't
What's
believe,
the
can't believe it.
joke of the week? Was there a joke?
What the only joke in it for me was I've never had any trouble with parking tickets with traffic wardens.
Why's that?
I ain't got a car.
Laughter.
Which, to be fair, like that is,
I mean,
that
it's
is
a
a
right
written
joke.
joke.
I mean, it's a written joke, and it works, but
Yeah, but
it's just random, wasn't it?
no, there's nothing else in this that was worthy of like a written joke. As we said, it was all like monologues and
It's
no
character comedy, wasn't it? Rather than.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely character. I don't know about comedy.
Yeah, like I said, a bit where he was bored, in a china shop in their living room. I thought was pretty funny.
alright.
as well. Chris, what did you enjoy?
Huh?
What did you enjoy?
Well, I enjoy it. I don't know.
Like it when he fell into the bins at the end.
Yeah, when I crashed in the bins, crash, loud noise. I liked it. I just imagine the faces of all the people in that street. You're like, "Come on, be quiet," and then suddenly the bins go, and they're like,
Garnett! Theme tune was good though, wasn't it?
Yeah, again, Chaz and Dave. So it's nice to have, nice to hear a bit of that. So, should we go to the game?
Is there a game?
There isn't a game,
Good.
but we could try and make one up, perhaps.
We did this last time.
always
It was
worked.
just rubbish.
More editing work for Jamie.
Yeah.
In sickness and in wealth, monetary-based sitcoms.
Right, good. At least you got some ideas. Any more? The sickness and in stealth, like Metal Gear Solid based sitcoms.
Yep.
Gotcha! Oh, wrong one. There he is!
Time
Time Crisis. Do you remember
Oh
that?
right, I never played that.
Never played Time Crisis?
No.
Oh, that's a wicked game.
Yeah, it's good, yeah.
Don't know. Sickness and in kelp.
Brilliant.
Seaweed based sitcoms.
Yeah. In sickness and in shelf.
B&Q based
DIY
sitcoms. The DIY.
sitcoms.
Have we done a DIY one
Home
before?
Improvement.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, I thought we did, didn't we?
Lest we forget.
I don't know. In sickness, London, Black Plague. Little funny puppet rat.
Yeah. Some character walks in with one of those big medieval beak doctors' heads on.
Yeah.
They're
I can't get it off. It's full of spiced herbs.
I think them medieval not medieval, the doctor.
The beak head.
Yeah, I think they're well cool.
Plague doctors. Creepy, aren't they?
I think they're cool. No,
Well, I don't know. I don't really see many.
not
In the
around these days.
hospital,
We,
I
to be
mean.
fair, you don't live in Barkside anymore, so that's shout out to
Yeah, it's a
Barkside.
cool look, isn't it? But
It's a cool look.
Yeah.
First date.
Mods,
Hello.
rockers,
ooh, let me get my
plague.
hat.
Yeah.
Careful, it's raining. It's quite scary, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
It's
it is.
creepy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's scary,
Like, if
creepy. Yeah.
it's coming after you, you'd be like,
Yeah, imagine somebody who's like racked with plague, and that's the last thing you see. Is that geezer looming over you?
Hello.
just like a real like sort of like children presenter voice.
Yeah. Your plague. Oh.
I'm going to paint a red cross on your door.
Your plague. Fuck knows what it is. Sorry. Well, did they? Nobody knew what it was.
Well,
Till
yeah.
after.
We thought
That's
it
why
was
it was
airborne.
cured.
Incorrect.
No.
What was it then, Chris? Tell us.
It's
Parasite
fleas, wasn't it?
thing. Fleas.
Yeah.
You're bitten by a...
Put a little
Infected
glass
flea,
of, little
and,
saucer of blood next to your bed. Fleas went for that.
Luckily for Chris, he always keeps the saucer full of blood. Anyway, in case he wakes up thirsty in the night. He'll just lap it out like a cat.
Until the morning I wake up and it's got loads of fleas in it. I go, phew. It's a bubonic plague avoided for another night.
Me.
Won't be needing this. The big cat in the bin.
Should we do sickness and in wealth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
why
it's
not?
anyone I've got that
How
makes sense.
money I'm home.
Yes.
The Viscount of Dibley.
The what?
The Viscount of Dibley.
What's the V count?
Like a
Like a
wealthy sort of person.
It's like a
Count, like a
aristocracy.
aristocracy.
Every time. Stop doing things that I know.
Stop saying special words.
Stop being clever. Jeez.
2.4 million.
So pleased. That's great.
Yeah, loved it.
Are you being served at the bank?
That's great.
Is that what we got there? That was good.
This is why preparation helps.
Listen, it's gonna be edited together like we're coming out with these like singers, so don't worry.
That's great.
I'm gonna edit that after my suggestion for the game.
Yeah.
So I'll say an answer. You go. That's great. Thanks, Mark.
Sequel to Bread, Doe.
Good.
No, it'd be a
good.
prequel to Bread, wouldn't
It would be.
Yes, yeah, the origin story.
it? Sickness, I don't know, disease-based sitcom.
Yeah, go on then. Disease-based sitcoms. Bottom, piles.
Brilliant.
Thanks. Straight in with that one.
Red Dwarf, Mark Snob.
What?
Red Dwarf, Mark Snob.
Because it's
It's
Saw.
accurate intro.
Porridge. Dunno.
This is what you have when you're ill.
Yeah, just nice little bit of porridge, bit of syrup in it.
Bit of warmth.
Lovely.
yeah. Are you being served at the pharmacy?
What?
At the pharmacy.
Oh, I mean, if you search your prescription on time, what is your opinion?
Some of us do have AIDS.
Jesus.
Not funny.
Well, they do.
Can I have...
Yeah, factually. I mean, you're probably factually on good ground.
Whether it's funny or not. I mean,
Yeah.
can't argue with the facts.
Can I have 2 pints of cow pole and a packet of Lemsip?
Good.
Yeah.
That's a delicious pint of cow pole.
2
Oh,
pints
what?
of Calpol.
A rim of cow pole off your lip.
Got a good head on there.
All right, personal.
Alright. Yeah.
Cow pole's more nice, isn't it?
No, Calpol's
Brilliant.
rank.
What?
I think
pink
I'm sure
Calpol?
I had to have, I drank too
What?
much Calpol when I was a kid and I had to go to hospital.
Really? Is that a true story?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
I think so. The blackout
I seem,
really
to
hit you
remember, I
hard.
seem to remember having to be made to be sick in the hospital because I drank too much Calpol.
Oh, wow. Remember banana medicine?
Couldn't take it.
Yeah, for
That was
earache,
good.
innit?
Is it for earache?
What?
Done me.
I think I'm done.
What's never mind the quality, feel the width?
That is a sitcom. It's definitely a sitcom.
That's just on his watch list.
Accidentally pasted it in from your text messages. Guy.
It's a title about upcoming autobiography. So
Yeah, so I'm done. I don't care. Whatever. As long as Chris can say something funny, then we can just edit it together and then end on a bang and off you go.
I've had everything I think I could say from that.
Good. All right. I'll edit it so that it sounds like that's funny.
Canned laughter.
should I just end this?
Just like Chris when he drank that cow
Please,
pole.
please end this.
Yeah, go on.
Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to like us on Facebook. Just search for Great British Shitcom and find us on Twitter or Instagram at British Shitcom. Tell us some of your favourite sitcoms of the past using the hashtag Shitcom. Share the podcast with family and friends. Oh no, we need to say what we're doing next week.
How many more we got to do? 2 plus a special.
So we're not doing the special. We're stopping at 6. Thankfully for the
Should we
audience.
make
Why?
our 6th one a Christmas special?
Why?
Just
Listen, if the Christmas ones were so good, why haven't people listened to them all year round?
nice.
Little call back there to my correct opinion last week.
I think we should do 6 for this series because that was the intention for the first one. If we get any more,
This
then
is probably an off-air conversation, isn't it?
No.
then we can use those.
We
for,
just fill it in. Should just have some. We just put some admin in at the end.
Scintillating admin.
Behind the scenes,
Yeah.
bonus content.
Yeah, how are you going to get these files over to me later, Mark? Let's talk through that step by step. Oh, God. What do you want to watch then?
No, what's
we're going to do, Bottle Boys?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
It's just a groan.
It's in the theme tune, so we have to do it.
Oh.
Bottle boys, up with the lark. Who cares if it's raining? Who cares if it's dark?
we don't have to do this. We
Bottle
didn't do
Boys. Can we do Bottle Boys as a finale?
We'll do Bottle Boys as a finale. Let's.
That's the cork coming out of champagne off the bottle.
Boys. Can we do that one that was did either of you guys watch that Philomena Crunk thing that was on around Christmas? Perhaps?
What?
Yeah, what about it?
So you know that every episode they kept referencing the same, is it brush strokes or something like that?
Mm-hmm. If you want, yeah. If you want,
'Cause it looks proper stupid.
All right, yeah.
It's like a Jack
Well,
the Lad's kind of character.
all right. Do you even know what it's called?
I think the brush strokes.
Is it called
or something
B Bottle Boys?
Let's just find out.
Bottle boys, up
That's
with
just the best
the
theme
light.
tune.
It's
It's the best
good,
theme tune
It's
ever.
so jaunty.
Thank you. I'm so glad
I
you
love
guys are
it.
on board with that.
Hmm?
I think that's the first one we've agreed on all day.
What?
Theme tune to Bottle
Yeah, it's
Boys.
good, isn't it? It proper gets you in the mood.
Yeah, for milk.
That's what she said.
Did I do the end to this?
No, what episode are we going to watch?
Oh.
Season 1, episode 4. Home James.
So we'll be watching Series 1, Episode 4 of Brush Strokes, entitled Home James, next week. So watch that. Thanks for listening.
Cheers.
There he is! Gotcha!
Well, I built my life around you, did what I thought was right, but you never cared.